Good morning. So I just need to give you some band options. I've been promising it to a few people and it's taken a little while, so I apologize. Banded hip reactivation. So this is a extra heavy band. It's fine for me because I'm not injured at the moment. For you, start on the light red or yellow band because remember it's about perfect activation, it's about perfect movement, it's not about sets, reps, and ego. Okay? So I prefer you to do two or three perfect control, beautiful execution. So it's elegant, not elephant. All right. You've done your basic Pilates. You've done your simple stretch release work. That's cool. That's your first phase. But the only way you're going to get this joint pain free, and that's hips, that's knees, and that's low backs, is to reactivate or to retrain the muscles, because I know some people don't like the word reactivate, they're always active, to retrain the muscles to work in synergy, get them all working together, get them all communicating. Because a lot of the time, that stiffness you feel that you think needs to be stretched doesn't need to be stretched. What it needs is stability. You need the muscles to fire and the movement pattern to be retrained so your body can just physically let go and trust in the movement because you've learnt this protected, I'm broken posture because you're reacting to pain, which is an animalistic thing. It's natural, right? You assume fetal position, you close in, you reduce the range across the joint so you're not loading as much to allow it to heal. But what doesn't happen, and in my opinion, that's because we don't walk how we're designed. We're still designed to walk like gorillas almost. We haven't fully evolved this upright bipedal form. And it means that we get into this really chronic, crunched up, tight, can't move pattern. So, muscle activation, really, really simple. Dining room chair, sofa if you have to, as long as you sit up nice and tall. I prefer something firm. Band just above the knee to start with. Slight engagement. So can you see it's actually fairly tight anyway, but I'm just going to step my feet apart just a little bit so there's tension on the band, and I want you to keep that band tension all the time. Exercise part one. Part two, lift up, shoulders back, don't flare your rib cage. Pull your tummy in just like you've done on the Pilates. If you haven't, watch my Pilates, please. Neck long, chin in. You can brace your hands, that's fine. And to start with, you're just going to lift your heel off the floor. And that's it. Put it back down, lift the other side, and back down. And you're just going to pedal for 30 to 60 seconds or 15 to 30 repetitions, whichever works for you. Some people like to count. I just quite like having a timer on and just letting the timer count out and just switching off when I'm doing rehab. When I'm doing gym work, I like reps because I'm a confused person. Okay? So you just alternate. As you get better at this, instead of alternating, you can just do multiple repetitions on the same side, which will build the fatigue and gives the equivalent of upping your resistance because you fatigue. Okay? So that's 30 seconds. Your progression: one, two, down, two, and then reverse it. Up, two, down, two. And that's it. You just walk up, up, down, down. The same as you did with the basic Pilates. All right? Remember, we're always thinking about posture. We're not letting the rib cage flare. We're keeping the tummy drawn in really, really strongly. And there's not a great deal of engagement through here, but it's enough. You're getting the push out. Okay? Once you've done 30 seconds of walk up, walk downs, and I'd say because this is such a basic exercise, unless you're in so much pain you can't progress past this, just stick to 30 seconds and treat it like a warm up. All right? Next exercise: ground your heel, place your toe, single leg lift, hold, down. Same thing other side. Lift, hold, and down. Now I'm trying not to sway as I lift. Okay? Even weight in the sit bones, straight up, straight down. Now, because this is a fatiguing exercise, I'd like you to build to 60 seconds. I'm of the personal preference that you do everything more like a circuit because it becomes a habit then. So instead of doing 3 sets of 60 seconds with a break like you would in the gym, unless you're doing in the gym as a workout, which this can be done, um, do your pedals, do your marches, do the next two exercises I'm going to give you, then recover, and then repeat that circuit as many times as you can. Because then if you don't have 15 minutes, all the exercises still get done, but you're doing less sets of it. Rather than spending 5 minutes doing this one, then tomorrow, 5 minutes doing the rollouts, then the next day, 5 minutes doing the straight legs, and it's really spread out over the week. If you want to learn to do these, do that. Spread them out over the week, put them into a big circuit once you're finding it too easy. And if you want to, just do these exercises with no band to start with, but focusing on the lift. So if you noticed, I stopped dead. I can lift up like this, but do you see what happens? I shift. I'm forcing it. That's not what we're about. We're about the deeper muscles, about the deeper activation. So I can lift to there, and I can hold, and I can sit up, and I can feel it pulling, it's burning. I don't want to be doing this for long. And down. And I can do it with no support, but I'm still holding on to make it better. Okay? Your progression for this, if you're finding this a bit too easy, you want a bit more, is just to hold at the top a little bit longer. So I'm generally going up for 1, hold for 2, down for 1. You could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't put it down, float it, and come back up again and do repetitions on the same side. And trust me, that's going to catch up on you. Or come up for 1, hold for 5. That's okay. Same exercise. I don't need to teach you it again. You can just build the endurance in it. I would argue if you're holding more than 30 seconds at a time, is there much point? Because you're going to start to fight it and hold it. It has to be pretty, remember. Okay, so we've done a minute. Team, next exercise. Come up onto your heels, push one knee apart. This one stays still. So it's all coming from here. Think about as if you had a rope from knee to hip and you're pulling outwards and deliberately squeeze your butt. Come back in, hold this one still, push that one out. Now you don't have to be on your toes. And if you've got an ankle injury, if you've got a calf injury, by all means stay down or put something under your heels to lift them, like your foam roller or something. So you're up on tippy toes, but the heels are rested. The reason I come up onto my toes, it's easier to pivot, especially in most trainers, on the tip of your toe rather than on the heel. Back in, and can you see the other one is engaging? I'm pulling this one to make it stay still as I pull this one out. So you're working both legs. Come back in. Same thing. Now I'm starting to slump because I'm focusing on my legs and forgetting my posture. So if you can, think about your posture every 2 or 3 reps. Maybe each time do 1, 2, reset. 1, 2, reset. And the same with this. If you want to make this harder, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? You just build the endurance out. If you want to cheat a little bit with your finger, now I'm not actually pushing, but it gives you that feeling of, oh no, I'm slacking, I'm letting go, I'm letting it drop in. And sometimes it's really good just to bring your attention to your body, kind of almost focus your mind by putting a couple of fingers on it. It's not doing anything, it's not helping. It's just, I'm aware of what's going on because of the touch sensation. Put your hand on your butt. Not like that. Put your hand on your butt and think about what you're doing. Okay? Good. So I make that about 60 seconds, right? Then we put them together. So you lift up, you come out. Can you see? I'm still, I am slumping. I come in, I come down. Now if that's too much, go heel, slide, slide, down. And what works quite nicely if you're going to do the slide is do it on a wooden floor or on a tiled floor and just put a tea towel underneath you so you can physically slide your foot. Because if you've got a lot of pain in your hips, like my post-surgical arthritic hips, this might be way too much for you right now. And I don't want you using your abs, and I don't really want you using those large superficial muscles. I want you trying to make it as evenly distributed lift as possible. Yeah? And down. I'm never letting this tension come off. I'm never slacking in. Okay? Straight out. Straight in. Good. Reset. Now, as you get stronger, you are going to try and do this on a slightly deeper seat so your knees are higher. The reason being is the more negative you are, the more pressure there is on the low back, the more pressure there is on the hips, therefore the harder it is to do this really well. So start high, start lifted out, learn it really well so you don't have to think about the exercise. You can almost do it and chat to how many people are watching you right now. And then as you get competent and confident, then do the harder options, a higher band. So this is more of a progression than a new exercise. Band around my ankles now, just above the ankle. Straighten the leg. Sorry, start just by straightening the leg. Hold. It brings it much more into your quad. So we've done hips. We progress into quads now. Straight up. Sit up nice and tall. Keep the anchor down below. Slide down. I would suggest you do this in trousers because if you're hairy, it's going to rip the hair out your legs. If you're not hairy, it's going to slide up your legs. So that's why I put my trackies on today rather than my jeans, because it tends to slide on my jeans. So even though my trackies are looking a little worse for wear, it made the exercise easier to show you. Whether your toe is pointed or toe is flexed does make a difference, but not to what we're doing right now. So don't worry about it. Whatever feels natural, do that. And if you're really concerned, alternate. So there's one toe. Next time, dorsiflexion, toes drawn towards my shin. And then I switch and I go happy toes. And then I go sad toes. Good. Perfect. I'm really getting tired now, but I've done a lot of running this weekend, so please excuse me. If you can, lift, reset, lift higher, hold. Retract, reset. No dropping back, it's cheating. So lift, elevate, lower down, reset in. Okay, I need a little shake. Last exercise. Up and out. Kick to the side, hold. Remember, lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up. Slightly turn the foot out now. Come in and come down. Now, the reason I say turn out is because we're going to kick into the outside. And generally, posturally, if you're unstable, we're always going to want to turn you out because it's a stronger position. So if we can get that slight turn out, unless you know you're really bow legs, genu valrum, so unless you naturally bow your legs, obviously that doesn't apply, but I would say 90% of the people I'm setting this for, I'd rather you had a slight turn out than a turn in for all of the weaker positions. Okay, in and down. Now here's a suggestion. Add these into your normal leg training. Obviously, when you're broken, you're not in the gym. Cool. Be at home, use your light band, do these one exercise at a day, build it up so you can do the whole lot as a circuit, build up to so you can do a couple of rounds or do it twice a day maybe, coupled with the controlled stand-up video, which I'm going to refilm because it's not great quality, the one that's up. So bear with me, that will get filmed tomorrow. I am refilming everything, so it's all better quality. And that's enough.